Hello, this is Alex Kazmark for the FXEdge.com, and this is your free daily Forex video for August 18th, 2009. One reminder before I begin, the purpose of this free daily video is education and not an alert service. I'm not going to make any trade recommendations here, but what I am going to do is point out levels of support and resistance for the next 12 to 24 hours. Please keep in mind that trading with leverage is very risky, so please don't trade any real money until you have established a proven track record on a demo account. Trading conditions are always changing, so make sure to watch tomorrow's video to stay updated. Well, we made it through Monday, and as expected, we continue to see further dollar strength, except on the yen. We are looking at the euro dollar. As you can see, we had this trend line going up for further euro strength. We talked about whether or not yesterday's candle was going to break below that trend line, perhaps setting up further dollar gains over the next few days. That being the case, it's hard to say at this point whether or not this is in fact a reversal for the dollar, and perhaps may lead us to break below 140 over the next few days. Here's this trend line that we were talking about. We were on quite a nice bull run for the euro. Weren't able to break above the 144.50 level. Several times attempted that. Had a nice dollar period of strength here to the 141 level, and if we draw a Fibonacci retracement down to the slow, we'll see that this green couple of candles was simply a retracement, just to really test the market whether or not this was the beginning of a dollar run. We tested the 61.8% retracement level. Once again, this trend line was set soon after, and we continued to gain ground against the euro. So I'm going to take this Fibonacci retracement off. We're going to continue expecting further dollar gains, perhaps below 140, targeting 138.80. So let's cover the support and resistance as of now. Currently trading at 140.80. Our first level of resistance is going to be found at 141.01. Followed by 141.60, 142.30, 143, and above that 144.50, marking these August highs. Our first level of support for the euro is going to be found at 140.50, which was yesterday's low, followed by 140 even, 138.80, and 138 even. And these were the lows set in July, followed by the lows we had in June. So that's where the 138.80 and the 138 level come in, but 140 being the next key technical support, the more important support, 140.50 just being yesterday's low, but 140 being psychological number. We have the triple zeros there, so we have to watch a break of 140. Could clearly target 138.80 after that. Let's take a look at the pound dollar. Currently trading at 163.40. We continue to lose ground against the dollar. Specifically, we talked about in our members section that the Bank of England continued to pump more and more money into the economy to support the markets. We are going to continue further dollar gains, as we mentioned, against the euro as well. So if the dollar continues to break below yesterday's low of 162.74, which would be our first line of support, followed by 162 and 160.30. And if we are wrong and the pound starts reversing its losses and continues to see gains to the upside, our first level of resistance is going to be found at 164.25, followed by 165.15, 166.66. 167.20 is not much more of a area of resistance for the pound. This was more of a range that we had set up here between 166.66 and 167.20. So we're going to take that off, and our next level of resistance is going to be at the top of 170. And just to make sure that I covered the resistance levels for the dollar, Let me cover that real quickly. Above 140.78, where we're trading now, is 141, marking these lows. We're going to see that as our first level of resistance now, followed by 141.50, excuse me, 141.58, followed by 142.30, 143, and 144.50, marking the August highs. Onto the yen. Currently trading at 94.45. We continue to see equities decline. There goes the dollar as well. Our first level of support is going to be found at 94, followed by 93.30, 92.40, and 91.80. And if we back up, we can show you that the 93.30 level were these lows set during mid-July. 92.42 was these lows, closing lows, set in early July, and the wicks being the 91.80 level as the lows. If the dollar starts to gain ground against the yen, perhaps equities will turn up as well, which we don't expect at this time. But if it does, we're going to be looking for 95 even as our first level of resistance. 95.27 follows, 95.80, 96.50, and 97. And above 97, we're going to see 97.70, followed by 98.50. Now, these areas are quite far away. We're really not paying attention to these as of now. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that they were there in case we have any major dollar bull runs. Let's take a look at the dollar Swissy. Currently trading at 107.80. This is an interesting pair as we continue to see further lower highs. We had support here, resistance for the dollar at the 109.60 level. Finally set another pivot high at 109.30, which was lower, followed by another high which was lower than the previous high at 108.80, and seems that now we might have etched out another high here at 108.30, setting another lower high. However, we weren't able to break through the 105.75 level, finally set a higher low. So right now we have a bit of a mixed signal, perhaps a triangle forming. We're going to watch for break of the triangle either to the upside or the downside, setting either a higher high, maybe breaking this pivot, or a lower low breaking this pivot. So we'll just have to watch what happens. But at this time, we're going to look over our support and resistance lines, currently trading at 107.77. First level of support is going to be found at, I'm going to take this off, this was from yesterday. First level of support is going to be found at 107.50, followed by 106.70, 106.50, and 105.75. And first level of resistance for the dollar is going to be found at 108.30, marking yesterday's high, followed by 108.80, marking the previous pivot high, followed by 109.33, marking the two previous highs go on the pivot here. Data released overnight was better than expected. We were expecting dollar losses on any positive data. That didn't happen. So we're going to continue following the markets and trying to digest the data that's coming out later this week. Actually tonight, today through Thursday, Friday being a very important level, and the release of existing home sales out of the US. So with a lot of data pending, we're going to be very careful here playing these ranges. Join us in the members section for a detailed analysis with potential trade opportunities. And until tomorrow, good luck trading. This has been Alex Kaczmarek for the FXEdge.com free daily Forex video for August 18th, 2009. Thank you so much.